Guys, we have to go over 3 overbought stocks today. Typically, we talk about oversold stocks, but today we're doing the opposite. We're going over stocks that are way overbought. They've ran up like crazy because, quite honestly, the markets have been running up like crazy. So we have to break things down, go over what I'm doing, kind of what I'm seeing here, and a little bit of wisdom for me for my years of trading. And yeah, we're going to break a lot of things down. So sit back, relax, hit the like button, subscribe, check out my Patreon down below, and make sure to get your 50 free bucks from M1 Finance. That's also linked down below, and let's get right into it. And before we even go over the 3 stocks, and actually there's 4 stocks, if you guys stay till the end, we're going to go over that bonus one. Before we talk about these stocks, let's take a look at what the markets have been doing. SPY, which you guys know, tracks the S&P 500. This just hit an all-time high yesterday on Friday, the day before I'm filming this video. It hit 470.65 QQQ, which tracks the NASDAQ 100. Also hit an all-time high at $400.99. The Dow Jones, which you guys know, the Dow Jones, it also just hit an all-time high of 36,484 points. And the Russell, as of late, we've covered this as well, has been breaking out as well, and it just hit an all-time high recently at 2449.14. And what you notice here, there's a common trend amongst the 4 main indexes that I track on my channel at least. All of them on the 4-hour chart, look at the RSI down here, all of them are very overbought. The Russell, the Dow, the S&P, QQQ, guys, literally all of these are extremely overbought. And when the markets in general are overbought, you bet your you-know-what, a lot of stocks out there, not all, but a lot of stocks out there are way overbought as well. So we got to talk about these. And when stocks are moving like this, right, when the markets in general are moving like this, a lot of people are getting greedy. A lot of people get greedy. They think the gains are never going to stop. They forget about the pullbacks that we saw back in October, September, or actually that wasn't even October. It was mostly September, early October as well a little bit. We saw a big pullback in the markets. When the markets are ripping higher, people tend to forget about these things, and they don't realize that it could easily happen again, especially now that we're pretty overbought, like I just showed you guys, across all of the major indexes. And people, now that they're really greedy, the thing is, they think the gains are not going to stop rolling in. They don't lock profits. And as a trader, and even as an investor, when you're looking to trim positions, maybe rebalance, the biggest thing to do that you have to learn how to do, shall I say, is know when to lock profits and know when to trim a little bit and take some money off the table. And I believe now is that time, especially with some of these stocks that we're going to talk about today. So let's get right into it. And if you guys find value in this video, I'm sure you have found value thus far, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe, hit that notification bell. Now let's talk about stock number 1, which is NVIDIA. And let me tell you guys, NVIDIA is a stock that I was looking at back in the summer. It was July. I believe I was in Hawaii at this point in time. Do you guys remember? I don't even know if you remember. Probably don't. But I was making videos in the hotel talking about the NVIDIA split back then. And it split. I believe it went down before the split. It went down to $180. And I was looking at this and I was telling myself, Stas, you're going to get in NVIDIA when it hits 150. And sometimes, like I say on the channel, guys, your price targets are not going to hit. A lot of the time that happens. And lo and behold, fast forward a couple months, NVIDIA is double where I wanted to get in. Remember, I wanted to get in at 150. Now we're trading at $300 per share, which is insane to me. And the market cap on NVIDIA, it's got to be pushing $1 trillion at this point. Let me pop it up on my Yahoo Finance. But overall, what you guys have to understand is this one is extremely overextended, right? It's above both moving averages by a long shot. The RSI is ridiculously overbought. And with earnings coming up next week, I believe, or maybe the week after, it's the week after. With earnings coming up, guys, these earnings have to be amazing for this price to sustain this very overextended value. Think about it. If these earnings come out and they're not as good as expected, Nvidia stock's going to collapse. Maybe it doesn't go under 200 or something crazy like that, nor do I think it will. But can it go to 250, 260 from where it is now, 300? Absolutely. We can see a nice little haircut on Nvidia of 10-15% if the earnings are not up to par. And remember, the stock market is a forward-thinking vehicle. It prices in things before those things actually occur. So with the stock being up a lot, people might think the earnings are going to be great already. So if they're not great, boom, we're going to sell off. And now that I pulled it up here on my Yahoo Finance, this stock is a $740 billion market cap. Now, if it's overvalued, undervalued, we're not going to get into that, and I can tell you for sure it is not undervalued. I'm thinking it's more overvalued here. We're not going to talk about that, but overall, you got to be careful. If you're in NVIDIA, hey, if you're in it as a trade especially, or a long-term investment even, trimming right now, rebalancing, locking in some profits might be a good idea. I'm not telling you what to do, as always. I'm not a financial advisor, but from my experience, when things get this overextended, it's a good idea to lock in a little bit, guys. Nobody ever went broke locking in profits, and we're going to talk about that here with stock number 2. It's Tesla. Yes, it's Tesla, guys. Come on, let's go over it, because I literally locked in profits on Tesla, on a little bit of it. I'm not cutting my whole position. I'm not doing that because nobody knows what the markets could do. Tesla could easily go higher from here. I mean, I'm not saying it's not going to go higher, but in the short term and in my portfolio, the one portfolio I own Tesla in, right? I actually own it in 2, but I trimmed it only in 1. You know, this is where I trimmed it a bit. I rebalanced. I locked in some profits, and I ended up buying some MasterCard and some PayPal with those profits, considering those are oversold, which we're not going to go into MasterCard and PayPal here, but that's kind of the way I run things. When things get a bit too hot, and in this case, very hot, Tesla, I trim it. I lock in profits and I rebalance. And if I was in it as a trade, which I'm not, I would be doing the same thing. I would be locking in a good chunk of profit here, as it's very overbought. It's above the moving averages by a long shot. And this stock alone, since middle August alone, it's pretty much doubled from 600 to 1200. I mean, come on, guys. This is crazy. And yes, they reported pretty good earnings. We got the order from Hertz, 100,000 vehicles. It's a lot of positive catalysts here, but I just think it's way too hot. And I wouldn't be surprised if Tesla were to pull down to 1,000. And let me tell you, if SPY, QQQ, if these two take a hit of 5%, maybe 10%, which I don't think is going to happen in the short term here, but let's just play hypotheticals here. If that were to happen, Tesla's going to take a hit. 20%, no problem, in my opinion, that is, right? So I literally locked in profits here on some Tesla at 1230. I did that. All you guys in my Patreon know you get all my buy, sells, call outs in real time. I did that, and now I'm just waiting, to see what Tesla's going to do. And I'm not selling out of the rest of my Tesla. I'm just telling you guys what I did. And I'm already seeing a bearish divergence here, which we'll go over with the next 2 stocks. I'm seeing bearish divergences there as well. So be careful. And the next one is Home Depot. And let me tell you this right off the bat. This one is not nearly as overbought as NVIDIA and Tesla. NVIDIA and Tesla are in another league of their own right now. I would say Tesla's even more overbought than NVIDIA. But Home Depot is still pretty overbought. And the fact that I'm seeing a clear-cut bearish divergence here, it's a bit worrisome, right? We can see the RSI has been weakening very aggressively the past couple of weeks, pretty much the past one and a half weeks here. It's been weakening as the stock itself has still been trucking along. And in my opinion, there's going to be a fill to the downside, a gap fill to the downside, down to about that 180 SMA on this 4-hour chart at 340, 345. That would give Home Depot a drop of about 6% from here. I really think that's coming. I think that's going to happen, guys. And with earnings coming up over the next couple of days here, in 10 calendar days from today, the 6th, they report on the 16th. If they don't do extremely well, if they underperform in any metric, this stock's going to come down to that moving average, no problem, in my opinion. Now, the last one here, the fourth one, which if you guys stuck till the end, I appreciate all of you. Let me know in the comments if you did. Hit the like button if you haven't done so already. It's Lowe's, LOW. This one, also very overbought, and we're seeing a bearish divergence, right? Look at this. We just hit an all-time high of 230, actually almost 240, and we're very extended above the mostly the 180 moving average, which is right around 210, 215, and with earnings coming up pretty much the day after, same time period as Home Depot, but it is the day after if we're getting into the technicality here. The 17th they report. These earnings have to be fantastic. I mean, they have to be fantastic for this thing to push a 250 plus. And I could be wrong, but I just don't see that happening. You know, I could be wrong, guys. Don't take this fully, 100% of what I'm saying. But I just think it's going to come down a bit. It needs to, at least, to 215, 210, right around that 180 SMA. So that's pretty much it, guys. I don't want to run this video too long. We're about 11 minutes in. That's perfect. So what do you think? The moral of the story is lock in profits, and don't be scared to do so, because if the stocks come crashing down, you're going to regret not locking in some profits, right? And trust me, guys, if the stock runs up a little bit more from where you locked in profits, sure, you might think, crap, I should have got the rest of that gain. But as you get deeper into the game of trading, you don't really care if the stock goes up more. You care that you made money, and you're going to focus on another opportunity. That's how it goes. So what do you think? Drop me a comment, hit the like button, subscribe, check out my Patreon if you want all my buy, sells, call-outs, morning update videos, and more access to me throughout the day. All of that is linked down below, or you guys can go to StockSurfFest.com/Patreon. Make sure to also get your $50 from M1 Finance and your 2 stocks from Webull up to $1,600. Both of those are linked down below. Simply deposit $100 into both of those platforms, and boom, we each get some free money. Everybody's happy. We're all getting some free money. So I'll catch you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching. Again, as always, keep crushing the markets. Stay safe out there. Peace out.